Hey guys, so Cove went down for a nap, so I'm gonna have to go through this quickly, and if he wakes up I might have to go get him and make him a part of the video as well. I have been wanting to share this story with you and I'm finally getting to do so. Hopefully I get through this without getting emotional. I have already tried sitting down and filming this once and I was a blubbering mess. Here we go. I really don't even know where to start. I guess I'll just start at the beginning. When I was 15 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare condition that prevents me from becoming pregnant. So I knew at a very young age that if I wanted biological children, that I would have to use a surrogate. That was a really hard time in my life, even though I was only 15 years old. It's really hard to hear, number one, that you're different from other girls, and number two, that you'll never get to be pregnant. I know that sounds weird to be sad about that at 15 years old, but I was. I knew that I wanted to be a mom. I've always dreamt of becoming a wife and a mother. I always wondered what it'd be like to have a big pregnant belly. What girl doesn't stick their belly out to see what they would look like pregnant? Am I the only one that did that? Maybe I am, I don't know. So it was very hard for me. I didn't think I would ever find someone that would marry me who wanted kids as bad as I did, but that would want to be with someone who couldn't provide that. But God had a plan for me apparently, and I started dating my future husband a year later, so I was 16 years old, and we got married when I was 20. And after we were married, Nick's sister actually came to us and offered to be a surrogate. That, I mean, who does that? She's amazing and generous, and we didn't even ask her. She just came to us and offered. I don't know anybody else that would do that, that would be that selfless. She said when we were ready for a family, she would be there and she would help us. So fast forward again to May 2016. That is when my husband graduated from physical therapy school and we were ready. We were just waiting for him to get a job and get out of school and us be officially done with college, grad school, all that. And we were ready to settle down. So Nick's sister and his family were actually in town for Nick's graduation, and we decided to make the drive to Atlanta, Georgia with her and her husband for our first consultation. We live about two and a half hours away from Atlanta, so it was a drive, but it was worth it to me because they have a really, really awesome fertility clinic there with a really high success rate for IVF and surrogacy. After our consultation, we had to see psychologists for a psych evaluation for her and just to get us all on the same page. We also had to consult with an attorney who was familiar with Michigan surrogacy laws because Nick's sister lives in Michigan. That means the baby was going to be born in Michigan. Come to find out, Michigan surrogacy laws are very strict. There was a possibility if we were to have a child born in Michigan, we would have to adopt our own biological child. Like, what? That's something we never thought of. Anyways, in September of 2016, I went through my egg retrieval surgery and they were able to get plenty of eggs and fertilize it with Nick's sperm. So they were our biological children that were made, our little embryos. Then 5 days later, Nick's sister came in town and she and I drove to Atlanta again for her procedure. And there was one embryo that was a little better quality than the others, and that embryo was Cove. If you've watched my other videos and watched my vlogs, you've met Cove, so that's pretty crazy. I can include a picture of Cove when he was a little embryo. He was a 5-day-old embryo. It's insane, people. Like, it's pretty awesome. I think it was 5 days after the embryo transfer, Nick's sister was back in Michigan, but we decided that she was going to take a pregnancy test. I remember it was a Sunday morning that she was going to take the pregnancy test, and that Saturday night, I literally stayed up all night because I was on pins and needles. It was still early to take a pregnancy test, but I don't know, like, I just had a feeling it was going to be positive. I stayed pretty positive through the entire process. Like, I just kept thinking, this is our time. We are going to have a baby. Like, I just knew it. I knew that God put all of these pieces in place for us. I just had a really good feeling about it. She texted me first thing that morning. I think it was like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was positive. She sent a picture of the positive pregnancy test, and it was a really, really faint line, but it was definitely there. And I remember she wrote, "Congrats, Nick and Mare." And I kind of expected it to be positive, but it was still shocking, and it didn't seem real, like, all at the same time. So many emotions, like, it did not seem real. And of course I told Nick as soon as he woke up, but he, like, didn't believe it. He was kind of harder to get excited about the whole thing because he's just a worrywart, and he's just a Debbie Downer and a little bit pessimistic, and he didn't want to get too excited too early, which I understand. But my feeling was this might be the only time that we get to experience this happy time and getting a positive pregnancy test. So I'm going to be excited about it. Like, I am not going to sit here and worry myself to death. I'm just going to let myself be happy about it. I'm already getting emotional. Keep it together, keep it together. Where was I? We found out in February, I believe. It was late January or early February, I think. We found out that it was a boy. And we knew what his name was going to be. His name is Cove Martin Farah. Cove is just a name that we liked. It didn't really hold any significant meaning. But he did end up being born at Covenant Hospital in Michigan. So Cove, Covenant, turned out there was some significance, which is pretty cool. And Martin is Nick's middle name, so it's a family name. So fast forward to June 12th, which was our due date, and because we had to go to Michigan for the birth, we scheduled an induction to make sure that we could both be there and take the time off work that we needed. So we did induce on our due date, and we went in to be induced, I think at like 7 or 8 o'clock that morning, and he was born at 8:07 p.m. on June 12th, 2017. And y'all, I can't even explain how amazing that whole day was. Nick's sister was a freaking beast. She did awesome. She had no epidural, no drugs, besides the Pitocin to help her induce labor. Nick and I were in the room the entire time. Gosh. I can't even think about it without crying because it was that amazing. It was the day we met Cove. Like, he's only 7 months old and I can't even remember what my life was before he was born. So, Nick sat in the corner because he didn't want to see anything during the birth, which I understand. It's his sister. Could be weird. So he sat in the corner, but he did decide to stay in the room. I watched everything. I've never seen a baby be born, you know? And who gets to watch their child be born as a mother? Sorry. The tears have started flowing. I saw his head and I could see that he had a head full of hair. He still does. If you've seen my videos, you know he has a ton of hair. He gets that from me. When he came out, they put him right in my hands. And this sounds so stupid, but I was so in shock that this was my son. Because when you're an intended mother in a surrogacy situation, you know you're expecting a child. You've known for 9 months. But it is very surreal because you don't have the big pregnant belly to remind you every day. You don't feel, sorry, you don't feel the baby kicking. It's hard to believe that this baby that's being born is yours. And he was mine. He looked like me. He looked like Nick. It was just... Sorry guys, I told you I wasn't gonna make it through without getting emotional. There goes my makeup. He was born. They handed him straight to me. We did skin to skin. Nick got to cut the cord, which was awesome. One interesting thing that you might not know is I was actually able to induce lactation, so I got to breastfeed, and it was awesome. I didn't produce enough for him as he was growing, but I did nurse him for about a month before switching to formula. But man, it was the most amazing experience in the hospital. We had our own room separate from Nick's sister. So Nick's sister had her room where she could recover and rest and get some sleep and not have to worry about a crying baby in the room. And Cove had his own room, and that's where we spent the night and everything. And it was just like a normal experience after that, a normal hospital stay after a baby is born. other than the fact that I wasn't sore from giving birth or anything like that. We just got to love on him and be sleep deprived together, and it was awesome. When we left the hospital, we stayed the night at Nick's sister's house one night, and then we left first thing that next morning to come back home. It's normally about a 10-hour drive, and it took us about 12 hours. So having to stop to feed and change a newborn, I thought we made really awesome time. We didn't know what to expect. We kind of figured we were going to have to stop halfway and stay the night somewhere. But we were just gonna play it by ear. So we just started driving, and we made it home in 12 hours, and the rest is history. I'm trying to think if I left any bits of information out. Obviously, I feel like a lot of people are going to have questions about this whole process, and I would love to answer your questions. If I get enough questions, I might even do like a Q&A type video, because like I said, I'm completely open to questions. I'm very open about, you know, my whole experience with surrogacy and infertility and all of that. So I would love to hear from you if you have any thoughts or questions. Now I want Cope to wake up so he can be a part of the video. Okay. So Cope woke up from his nap. We are matching today. Yeah. Say hello to your friends. I wanted to introduce him to you guys if you haven't watched my channel before. And yeah, look how cute he is. Isn't he the cutest? I think so. I think so. I think so. I think so. He is 7 months old. He isn't crawling yet, but he can get around anywhere by rolling around. Today, he learned how to clap, so he keeps going, yay. Every time I say yay, he'll start clapping. Right, bud? What are you doing? He never wants to sit. He wants to go, go, go. You want to sit next to mommy? You sit next to mommy? Hi. You're just the cutest. Say hi. Hi, cutie pie. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. We will see you guys next time. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.